Hello.
Yes, Priya.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for everyone for joining the webinar. Today topic will be on circulation model in Easylib 6.2a web version. So our speaker and CEO of Easylib Software, Vasudev Rao Deshpande, will be continuing. So can you take on, sir?
Okay,
Thank
sure.
you.
Sure. Thank you, Priya. Good afternoon, everyone. Nice to have about 80 people register. I'm sure many more will register, join now. We have total 28 people. So what we are going to do is first 15 minutes, we will go over the presentation. I will cover the basics of circulation, some of the key activities, the technologies, as well as the new things that are happening in this library circulation world. Then we are going to go into the demo of the application for about 45 minutes. Then the last 20 to 30 minutes we will reserve for question answers. So just to make sure to mute your phones, and that's about it. And just stay tuned. And as you have questions, make sure that you use this chat box on this side over here. I'm just posting the hello message. So you just keep posting the questions here. We will answer the questions at the end of the session. We have 33 people now. That's good. So let's get started. Thank you. Okay, so circulation model in Easylib 6.2a. As you know, right, Easylib is a software which is used by many libraries. We have the customers throughout Karnataka, about 500 of them, and then about 80 of them spread over different states, 8 states in India and 7 countries worldwide. So circulation is one of the key modules. So in this session, right, we are going to cover these things. First, we'll cover the types of circulation. I'll go more in detail. Key activities, technologies, demonstration will go deep into the application. Then we'll see customized statistics. That's something new. I'll show that. Email log, and the lastly, the analytics part, how we can take the reports from the circulation reports and then build the analytical reports. Okay, so let's get started. Typically, right, in a library, earlier it used to be mostly the general, only the books, physical books, and definitely, as the name indicates, the circulation is related to issue, return, renewal, reserve of those books library. So the most important part is regular circulation of books and non-books. The second type of circulation that we can see now is the digital resource. What do I mean by digital resource? Is that suppose you got this one PDF copy. That PDF is the physical book, along with it there is a PDF copy. And if you take that PDF copy, put it on your website for all students to read, so it's possible that the publisher may have an objection, saying that, okay, why are you putting this entire PDF on the site? So, and many people can circulate it among themselves, so they would not be happy. So there's a new kind of circulation over there, digital resources circulation, wherein you borrow this book, the PDF copy, you can click on borrow. Based on how many licenses that the library has got, only those people will be able to download at a time. Okay, 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, how many your parameter you set it up. And then after that certain days, it automatically gets returned to the library. So that's the digital resources circulation. Then the third one is obviously you have got the overnight circulation. So wherein you give the book just for the night. When you close the library, the book is given at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock or maybe even later. And the student is supposed to return the book within 30 minutes of the opening of the library. That's overnight circulation. And reference library or reference circulation, reading room circulation is You have a library, you give the books only for using within the reading room area. So that's the reference circulation. So many libraries already have open access. So people can go, just go to any cupboard, take the book and read it. So the advantage over there is that the students are able to get any book that they want. But on the other hand, if you want to see which books are used most, even for reading within the campus, right? At that time, you have two options. One is you put one of the machines over the self-checkout machine. They just scan it over there. They scan their ID card, scan their book. The book gets um, recorded as issued to the so-and-so person. But while going out, they need not go and check it in back. They just leave it on the desk and go. So at the end of the library, at the end of the day, the library staff will go and mark all of them as useful. So that is one method how you can track which of the reference books are most used. And some of the libraries, what they do is they keep them in the closed access only when people are free to roam around and then see that. But if they want to take that particular book and then go to the separate reading and room and read that, right? At that time, they have to get the book issued. Okay. Again, that's given only for the duration that they are in the library. So here the advantage is that you are able to track which of the books are used in the reference section. But the disadvantage is that the students find it a little bit cumbersome because every book that they want to read, right, even within the library, they have to get it checked out. Then the next, fifth one is the reservation-based circulation. Right? So here, what you do is you have your library opaque. The students can go reserve a book. So now you have the facility. You can have the book delivered to the student's home. So that's another kind of circulation. The next one is on-the-fly purchase and circulation. This is something that's interesting. So, visible? Okay, increase the volume. Okay. Is it okay now? Priya, can you help me?
Yes, sir, but sometimes it is echoing.
Okay, my own room echo. Not sure. Is it? Can I continue or I have to change the headset? This is a little better, so I'm continuing with this headset.
Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. All right. So on the fly purchase and circulation, right? This is a new concept in the libraries. So let's say you have got about 20,000 books in the library. But what you can do is you can partner with the libraries or partner with the booksellers who are ready to give their entire catalog for you to display on your book. So students can go search that particular book and they just have to reserve that. It may be in a special category. It may say that, okay, this book will be available after 24 hours of reservation. Okay, not on the same day, but 24 hours, right? So they can click on that reserve. So at that time, what you do, you buy that book. So the library will make payment and that person will deliver the book to your library within the next day. So you go to the students. So the advantage here is that, right, the student is able to suddenly access about 1 lakh books or even more instead of the 20,000 that you have got in the library. That's on the fly purchase, immediately, instantaneous. But on the other hand, it definitely comes with extra work from your side because you have to make sure that you have enough money reserved for buying the books and you have the process worked out with the supplier, right? The supplier needs to have enough stock and he also should be able to properly give the book to your library. So definitely it comes with an advantage, but with additional work. That's on the fly purchase and circulation. And the last one is dropship circulation. What we mean by dropship is, so so this particular book is in one bookseller, and I go and reserve this book. What you do is you don't get the book over here. You ask the bookseller to go and deliver the book directly to the student. Right? So that is the concept that's used in a lot of manufacturing technology. When you go and order a book from, let's say, any material from Flipkart or Amazon, it's very unlikely that they will ship it from their warehouse. They are going to ask one of the person who is maintaining the stock to ship. So Amazon or one of their office may be in Bangalore, but somebody orders, let's say, a particular item from Pune, and it may be delivered from their warehouse, which is in Nasik, or a third party who is in Nasik. So that's the dropship. So this particular software or the library only acts as an intermediary between the person who has the book and the student who wants that. So these are the, especially the last three, right? These are new ones, and I am seeing the trend. Definitely, this is going to pick up more and more as the real estate becomes more and more expensive, and the demand from the students will be that okay, give me access to large amount of books, whereas your budget may still remain the same. And definitely the number two item, that the digital resources circulation also is an important thing. So that also comes with the DRM. We need to deploy that digital resource management feature and all that. So that's the reason why it has not picked up. But that's also an important thing that's okay, let's move on. So now key activities in circulation, right? So we studied the different types of circulation. Now what are the first thing you're going to do is the parameter setting. Right? In a typical college, you have undergrad students, postgraduate students, research scholars. You have a junior staff, senior staff, and professors. Right? So a junior staff may be able to borrow, let's say, 5 books. A senior person may borrow 10. Students can borrow 5 books, keep for 30 days. A staff can keep for 3 months. Okay, so one category of the students may have 1 rupee fine, and another set of books may have something like which is very expensive.
Can you hear me now? Is it better?
Yes, it's audible.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So let me go back here. So, okay. So the different parameters, right? The parameters you set up are related to how many books a student can borrow, staff can borrow, the senior staff can borrow, and so that. Then you have got issue, which is also check-in, check-out, then return, check-in, that's renewal of the books, or reissue, or reserve the books. There are 2 types of reservations we see here. One, you have got the book already. The book has the stock there. So there are particular 5 copies of a book in the library. Out of them, 3 are already issued to somebody. Then only 2 copies are physically available. So one of the student requests a book, and one of those 2 copies is allocated to that person. So that is, you are just keeping the book on hold. The book is available in the library. So let's say both of the copies are reserved by 2 different people. So the book is on hold. Now on queue is, let's say all the 5 are already issued to somebody, and somebody still wants to reserve a book. At that time, he will be first in the queue. So that's another kind of reservation. And some libraries don't allow that on queue also. And some libraries don't want to allow the on hold. So what we have done is made it parameterized. So the next one is the Dropbox. If you are maintaining a Dropbox, right? The student will come, just put the books in the box, Dropbox over there. So the librarian at the end of the day, library staff will go and mark all of them as received. So this definitely works with a trust factor. You trust that, okay, the students will not come and tomorrow tell that, okay, I dropped the book, whereas they might not have. Okay. But definitely, this is something that's picking up quite well. And many libraries, you see that the Dropbox is a very useful used feature. The third party feature is that we discussed earlier. One party sends the book to another one. That's another one. Then you got the activity email. As soon as I issue a book, an email should go. Is I return a book, an email should go or an SMS should go. Then you got the due reminders. It can be either manual or automatic. Every day the software can go and send this due reminder. That's another thing. Then the fine calculation that happens. So when the students pay the fine, you want to issue fine receipt. Then there is a waive, because for some reason you want to waive of 30%. So you can waive it and then give the reason. Then you can keep the fine pending. Okay, sometimes it's required. You just want to keep the fine pending so that the student can at least return the book. Okay. Then you have the activity of issuing notice certificate, tracking who it has been issued, and how many books are available with the students who have already left the college, all those things. Then the next two are reports and the analysis part, key activities. Okay, this is the last slide before we go into the demo. Okay, so circulation technologies, good olden time, right? You have a circulation desk. Students will give a request, you issue the book. That's either you're doing it manually or through the software. Now, barcode machine, barcode tags. So each book has got a barcode tag. You scan the barcode, scan the student's barcode, issue the book in the system. RFID. Okay, RFID basically, I don't have the RFID in front of me, but let's see here. I'll show you something. So let's say, suppose this is an RFID tag. This RFID tag is put into the book. Somewhere in one of the pages you put, or otherwise you put it along with the spine label, so that that particular RFID tag is in the book and not easily peelable. So the advantage of having RFID is that two major advantages. So one is the students, if they try to take out the book by mistake without getting it checked out, it will beep. So with the gate reader, that's one advantage. Second advantage is you're taking the stock verification. That becomes easy with the RFID. You just take this RFID reader and just scan along all your the bookshelf, and all those records come into that RFID reader. Okay, which will in turn go into Easylib, either manually or automatically also is possible. So this is the advantage of RFID. Then you want to make sure that you do a cost-benefit analysis and decide whether to go for RFID. Next is self-written Dropbox. For this, again, both RFID-based as well as manual Dropbox are available. Self-issue return. Self-issue also is possible. Students will come, put their scan their ID card or through the RFID card, keep the book, and the book is issued. That's the self-issue kiosk. And lastly, most important thing is powerful features in the EPAC or the OPAC software, where the students are able to get a lot of benefits of what book I have borrowed, when is it going to be due, how much is the fine accumulated, all those things. Okay. So now let's go into the Easylib software. Okay. This is how the homepage looks. Let's see. Just to make sure I'm sharing this screen. Let's see how many people are there now. Okay, good to see 62 people. So let me share. By the way, do feel free to put the questions. We'll answer them at the end. Okay. Now, so again, to log into Easylib, very simple. You just go to demo.easylib.net or whatever the IP address or the URL assigned to you. Here I'm logged in as library staff. Okay. So I log in with my user ID. It comes as my name. Every staff has a user ID. And now my suggestion or the request to all of you, make sure that you have a separate ID for each staff. Don't try to use the common ID for everybody. Because if you try to use the same common ID, whereas on one hand, it's easy to find out who has logged in. But on the other hand, it becomes difficult to segregate who has issued what books and all that. So it's very easy, just creating the user IDs for usually everybody. Just click on menu, just go in the security module. This is the same in older version of Easylib and also the newer version. That's a 4.4 as well as 6.2. You just say add a new user and add that user here. That's it. And very simple. Okay, so now this one, usually we give the training to all the people who already have got Easylib, but basically this one tells acquisitions access, data entry staff, does it have access to this or not? Okay, here data entry staff, you are giving access to only the cataloging model, nothing else. Whereas a librarian profile, right, has got access to all of these. Okay, so all right, let's go back. So to go to the circulation, you just, you're on the OPAC homepage, same homepage. You just click on menu and you see a lot of menus of Easylib. Just click on circulation. One thing I wanted to tell you is that sometime, if at all it doesn't open, it's probably due to the pop-up blocker. So what you want to do is, if you are using the Chrome, right? You just in the Chrome, you type pop-up, okay? In the settings, you have to change the pop-up. Okay, so this is the, here you go to settings and change pop-up menu. And you see that site settings pop-up and enable that pop-up. Okay, then you will be able to see that. Here I have only enabled for 1 or 2 sites. Otherwise, it's blocked, something like that. Okay. So now you are in circulation menu. I go to circulation. Very simple. Here you just put the book ID, the accession number, and it will immediately tell if at all issued to somebody. Okay, it's not issued to anybody, it's available. As you see, right, I'll just zoom it. So Easylib is already multilingual capable. So you can just input in pretty much any language, and the basic details about that particular book are available. So now I want to issue to, let's say, one particular student. Same our Sripad, right? So now Sripad has already borrowed these all books. That's what the software is showing. He has borrowed this book on 17 June, and it was due on 15th July. Okay, already renewed 2 times, and the fine is this much so far, right? So this one till 31st, no fine, right? And he is an overnight circulation or the reference circulation. So you are basically able to get all these details. So now I want to issue this, just clear it, it will go. Now I put 100, again it comes. So I just want to issue, just issue. This member has a pending fine of 32. Do you want to pay? I'll say no. Okay. Oh, let me see whether I should say yes, I want to pay. I can, let me choose somebody who doesn't have a fine. Okay. Girish doesn't have any fine, so I'll do Girish. Okay, books issued successfully. So you are seeing that this is the transaction number, which is a very unique transaction number for all the issues. Accession number, with what is the category of the book, with the reference book, issue book, and SCST book, or a special book, something like that. And the description, the title, and all that will come. Issue date, what is the due date, whether it's renewed, and fine, so on. So now let's do one thing. We will go back to our number 0006. Okay. So Sripad has borrowed all these books, right? Now today he comes for returning this particular book. So now this is the 27 rupees book due is there. So you see the details. Now he say, okay, I want to return. You just click on return. So now you get 4 options: pay fine, keep the fine pending altogether, or waive fine, but just cancel. Let's say pay fine. So now look at this. Fine is 27 rupees. Receipt number automatically generated. The next up, and if at all you accept a bank transaction, you can put it as BEAM, UPI, or whatever transaction you are getting it from. And if there is some certain number you get, that you put that. Okay, whatever you have got it. Then what is the amount waived? Let's say 7 rupees is waived, and 20 rupees is sorry, I put 7. Okay, 20 rupees is paid, and reason to waive excess fine, something like that, or goodwill, whatever. Now I can just say okay, the fine gets paid. I can say pay and display the fine receipt. Okay. Now the fine gets paid, as well as we should see the receipt pop up. Okay. Let's see why it's not come. Okay, it came up. So now based on your setting, either it will open here or it can open the directly here itself. So now this is the 8788 Sripad Kumar member ID towards so and so accession number, transaction number. On this was the issue date. He paid total 20 rupees fine. Okay, so it's as simple as that. So, and if you have that Poison printer, you can print it on that as well. Okay, so simple, fair enough. Okay, so now when you are issuing the books, right? So if you want to see further details about that particular copy, you can click on this. So title number 300, and these are the copies available. So somebody comes for with one accession number he gives, and one moment. Let me mute for a moment. Okay, let me get started again. So you are able to see the screen, right? Okay. So now I go back. This was we just put let's say 000 006, right? So item status, basically that tells if you have clicked on this thing, how many copies are available and all the details you can see here. Now let's go to the member parameters. What does this member parameter tell? Again, you can go into the circulation. Here on the right side, left side, there is a member parameter screen. So I can choose any profile. So how do you choose a profile? What you can do is when you create a particular student, right, student, staff, you assign them a certain profile. Let's do that one time, okay? This is the member entry screen. For each member, there is a certain profile over here. Okay, so I just go here. If I want, let's say, the general students I want to see. So 6 is the first one. It's all the details. So now, if you have other profiles, right? Let's say temporary staff, there could be a profile, another profile, the ACSC student profile, the lecturer profile, all those different profiles, and the first one pops up over here. So when you give entry to any person to your library, you want to make sure that you set the particular profile. So now I'll go to the student profile, general student. So now general student, what it says is that he is authorized to borrow total 6 books, right? He can borrow total 6 books. He can keep the reservation, 3 reservations. He can do 3 books reservation. And he can also borrow 5 non-books. What is a non-book? All these, floppy disk, project report, periodical, all that is a non-book. Okay. And he can reserve one of these. So if you want to change it, you just change it as 10 and then modify. Okay. So now he is eligible to borrow up to 10 books. But at the same time, which 10 books? You can set up all the parameters here. Reference book, he can borrow 3 days, 3 items. He can keep for 6 days. Okay, this is also test data, right? If you want to set it up for 1 day, it's due next day itself. Okay, 6 days he can borrow. He can reserve it for 2 days because once you reserve a book, you are supposed to pick it up within 2 days. If you don't pick up, the Easylib software itself automatically will delete that reservation. And if he doesn't return it back on time, this particular reference book, 1 rupee fine per day, he can renew it 2 times. Okay. Then let's look at this book bank. He can borrow 2 books, 2 book bank books. He can keep it for 8 days, or there is another one, fixed date, right? What you do is when you issue a book bank, you issue until the end of the term. You can set a date here. One of those you can set up. If you set up this, it will go to that fixed due date itself, and this becomes immaterial. So suppose you issue on 29th of 31st or 29th of October. Even though it says this year, it will do the cutoff date as 31st October itself. Okay. Again, there's a fine and all that you will see here. If you want to just delete it, you just delete it. Or you want to add one more category of the item, let's say exam section. If you want to add, you all those details. So, how many items he can borrow, how many days he can keep. If there is any, I'm just putting all those details here. You can just add it here. That gets added. Okay. So the exam section got added. That kind of material, like a question paper, something like that. Same thing with the non-book material also. All right. So now there is a new feature called surcharge. Not a new feature, but a unique, distinct feature. If you want to set it up such that in the first 10 days, it's going to charge 1 rupee. Then 11th to 20th day, it's going to be 2 rupee fine. 21st to 30th days, it can charge 3 rupees. But 31st day onwards, again, it is 0. Right? Because if the student has borrowed the book and then kept the book for more than 30 days, or maybe let's say 1 year, then no point in keeping on adding the fine here, because if somebody has not returned the book in 1 year, it's highly unlikely that he will return in 1 or 2 days immediately after that without your intervention. Right? Okay. All right. So just confirm if you're not able to hear or not able to see, let me know. Okay. So now that's why the surcharge is useful, wherein you set from date to date, what is the fine you set it up. So definitely we request colleges to use this judicially, because otherwise it can keep going up staircase wise. And some places it's really useful, because after 31st day, if you don't want to charge any fine after that, you can just set up 31st day onwards, 999 days, it's all 0. Then it will not calculate the fine anymore. Okay. So that's the fine setup. Let's go over here again, circulation screen. We some member parameter and book accession register if you want. There is a link over there. Same book accession register that you see here. Okay, because I did not put anything over there, so it says that something is not available. So otherwise, this is the accession register you are seeing here. Okay. Now, if you see, there are a lot of details right at the bottom. They are not available because when you are doing the circulation, you really don't know whether the other person has access to the circulation. Sorry, the accession register or not. Does he have the ability to modify? We don't know, right? So that's why none of the add, modify, delete functions are not available. When you click on the book accession register from there, if you want to use in the accession register, you got to go here, catalog and accession, and only the people who have access to the catalog and accession can open, and then they'll see the whole bunch of keys over here. So just for your information, we have a separate section, separate video or webinar only for the catalog module. That's one of the biggest one. We had one last week, I believe, and more than 110 people attended also, and it was about nearly 1 hour 45 minutes or so. It's pretty big section. Okay, you can see the number of screens here. Keep going, down. Okay, circulation is not that big, but definitely critical. Okay, now let's go back to the so member parameters we saw the circulation. Okay, so if you want to search any members, you can go and search over here. So there is the same search. Okay, so those details you can see. All right. Okay, so then if you want to get some accession register for member ID, you can go and search that particular book, get the accession number, because somebody will say, sir, I want that particular topic, can you help me? I don't even remember what is the accession register number. Either you can go click on this and somebody comes with saying that, okay, if this is my name, I don't remember my member ID, what do? You just go and search here. Okay, so all the past and professor listed over here. Oh, it'll say, okay, so somebody. All right. Okay, so this is circulation main screen. What did I leave? Let's see here, one more thing. Okay, so I say print checked. It's been a while, so let me check. It's all okay with here. So let me just take this, because sometime one college, if you are issuing the book to a department, that department may borrow 100 or 200 books, right? So every time you need to send them, every month or 2 months, you want to send them a message saying that, okay, or print it out, take this report, okay, and send to them saying that please confirm that these books are with you. Okay, so that's this particular print section. Srujan, if you can switch off my phone, that will be great. Okay, so let me go back to, let's go to this overnight circulation. Okay, so now basically internal reference overnight based on the duration, and there is one more set time date also. If you want to give a particular book for, let's say, today's Friday night, and it's going to be a long holiday, 3-4 days. At that time, if you want to give 5 days, even for a reference book, you can just go and change the due date to manually, whatever you wish over here. Okay. This particular book I want to issue to, let's say, Mr. Vish. Okay. So I can just put a saying that, okay, I'm going to issue this till 31st, right? I can just issue this book. That's it. Okay. Normal issue. So the books that are issued in the normal will also show here. The books that are issued in the internal will also show on the other screen, right? So if you simply want to see what are the overnight books issued, you can just see here all the people, because come in the morning at 8 o'clock, you come to the library, and then by 9 o'clock the students are supposed to return the book. Around 8:45 you can just go to the screen, find out which of the reference books are not returned, right? So, or you wait for some time. If they still don't return it, then you call them and saying that, okay, it's already 9:50. Sorry, it's already 9:15. You are supposed to come and return the book. Please return it, right? So you also get, how many hours it's past due and all that thing you get. Okay. So similar to the other script, except that this is more tailored to the overnight and the reference issue. But one most important thing here is that you can override the parameters, what you said there. So a reference book, usually you will not issue to anybody. Okay, it's issued, let's say it's only issued to the staff, but there is a student who really wants that book, reference books, right? So as per the member parameters, you cannot issue the book, but you can go here and issue it. It will override all other things and then let you issue. But at the same time, you will be able to clearly track who issued that particular book, who among your staff has issued the book. It's very easy. Software keeps a track of what are the activities by each of the team member with respect to the circulation. Let me have it a little bit. Okay, so while we were talking about the user circulation, let's go over there. User-wise report, right? You are seeing two user-wise reports here. So I can say, okay, show me in this period, the last 1 month, all the parameters, all the transactions that have happened. User ID, who is the person who has logged in and who has issued. Accession number, date, time, member ID, the name, the title of the book, department of that particular member, course, branch, and all that thing, right? So as we speak, there is one more enhancement coming up. One of the librarians requested that I want to get the report by this department, okay? And if at all somebody has not written, I will say that send that report to the department so that they'll be able to put it on the notice board saying that, okay, these are our department students who have borrowed the book from the library but not written, please return it. Okay. Now, let's say when we are in the this lockdown period, right? Some colleges, what they are doing, they are a mentor for each student, right? And if at all they want to communicate anything specifically, they send to the student as well as to the mentor. Okay, mentor, supervisor, guide, whoever you call it. And whatever, if you want to communicate about, okay, these are the 10 students who are under you, have not yet written the book, please remind them. Something like that. Or maybe a class teacher, right? In a small school, you can have a class teacher. The class teacher also will get a report saying that these are the students of my class who have not returned the book. That's a feature enhancement coming up. Okay, so I put from to item entry date. Okay, give me the latest books that are not yet returned, right? So if there is a book that has come only in the month of June, right? It's a hot book. You really don't want people to keep it even if they are ready to pay the fine. What you can do is, in this case, give me only the latest arrived books, because you know there's a little old data or sample data, right? So I'll take a little older one. So I can just put a longer thing and see, it will tell you what are the books in that. Only 2 books. Okay, fine. So these 2 books, because they are latest arrival ones, and with the students who have not returned, I will pick up the phone and then call them and say that, okay, please send me give me the report back or books back. So again, you can search by department, you can search by issuing user, right? Okay, how many are issued by admin? Suppose, you know what, if you're always logging in with admin, right, this is the problem. So you don't know who is really issuing that. Instead of that, okay, you put the name of the person, you know, if he has issued, something will come, otherwise not issued, that's it, right? So, but at least the data will be very clear. Okay. So again, you can check it by course, branch also. You can see, okay, show me the books which are borrowed by the people of this particular branch. Get that list and then send to the department of course branch. So again, let's check this report once again and see if I want HTML report, I can get an HTML report. And I can put it on our website saying that these are the books that immediately need to be returned. Please return it. Or I can take an Excel report. Okay, just click an Excel and it comes over here. See this, just open it. That's it. Okay, it should open in a minute. I don't have the Excel open, so it's trying to open the Excel. But the report is anyway downloaded. While it, okay, it's come up over here. All right, it's opening still. Okay, these are the 4 books that are borrowed by different people and all that. And rather, this is the transaction we have taken: issue, return, renewal, and all that, right? So, yeah, that's about it. I think probably if you want some enhancement in this, you can definitely request, or I would have allowed this type is also visible there. Okay, so for that, there is a report, or you can request for an additional. Let me take a screenshot. Okay. Or most of you, or rather all of you also have this particular feature. Just copy the screen name, any enhancements you want, any changes you want, you can just click on the support go here. Can you add type of transaction? Example, issue, return, renewal, etc. to user in the screen. Okay. Type of transaction in okay, there's a 6.2, there's a circulation. So now there's an enhancement. I just add it. So putting a request definitely makes an entry into our system. It's not a guarantee that it will be done immediately, because we prioritize based on how many requests are in the queue, how many of them are asked by different clients, and also most importantly, do an effort analysis. Is a small enhancement or a large one? All that thing that need to be done. But one thing I can assure, whatever enhancement requested, it is going to be there. It will just not go away anywhere. That's why, all these new 28 enhancements, various times during either the webinar or when we were testing the software, we found that, okay, something like that, change favicon on client installation of Easylib. So that's a new one. So now, here, this is like, you are seeing the WhatsApp, you are seeing this one, right? Like this is the Confluence. Like that, Easylib logo should be over here. So that's another enhancement. So a lot of these are coming up anyway. So let me go back here to the main, there's the user circulation. So you simply are able to know what user has performed what. Now there is one more fine collection report over here. We saw that we had collected the fine there, right? So if you want to see, okay, how much fine is collected today. So 2 transactions. If you remember, I collected 20 rupees from Mr. Sripad, right? So 20 rupees is there. This is the person who I have logged in. And this is the title, member ID and all that thing. So all these details you're able to see here. This is the transaction number. And I can, of course, take an Excel. And because some of the colleges have, they collect the fine. At the end of the day, they go to the account department and deposit the fine over there. Either on a daily basis or a weekly basis, or you can, if you want to know, okay, how much fine collected by one particular user alone, you can do that as well. Okay, so that's also possible. Okay, so this is the fine collection report. Okay, now let me go back over here. So we saw circulation, we saw overnight circulation. What is the time now? 2:42. I'll go till 3 or 3:10 max on these demo. Okay, so most critical pieces I'm covering now. So charging, basically, if you have access to somebody, only to issue the book, not to return the book. So you can use this. So you can just put that, the member ID and accession number. It's not there, it will come. Okay. So this is the book you can issue, return. So similarly, this is the periodical issues. So what you do is, for each of the periodical, there is a loose issue number you have. You just scan it, it will come over here and issue it. As simple as that. There is no difference between this and that accession or the circulation screen. So this one is again what we saw here. This is the there is a little bit difference between these two. Again, this is only the issue. This is the return part. So and then multiple circulation renew. This is the renew part, because in the other one you can do everything. And here are the 3 screens separately done because of the access restrictions. So if you don't want to give all staff renewal, you want to have only 1 or 2 staff we have, they can see the screen. Okay, and others will not see that renew. Okay, now let's come to the multiple issue return. So one of the advantages of this RFID, right? You can keep all these books 000, 101, 000, 167, 000. I'm just trying to put the random number, 3 books. I will issue all of these to Mr. Girish. Okay, so issue all books issued to him. And here, if you remember, we had issued him 2 books, right? One we issued in the normal one, book we issued in the overnight reference book, and specifically we put 31st as the due date. So otherwise, it's all calculated automatically. Okay. So now, if you want to in RFID, right, that's one of the things you can do it faster. So this is the multiple issue return. Here, if you want to return all of this, you can just go and click on return, and then everything will go away. All right. So now this offline circulation, what does it mean? So now, as we see that there's a tremendous amount of transformation in the communication technology. We are able to get mobile access throughout India, even in the remote corners. But sometime, for whatever reason, there is no access. If your if your campus network probably affected because of the rain or something like that, so you're not able to access. Or it could be that the mobile towers are not there, so you can't even connect to the internet using the mobile. So landline, the Wi-Fi access is not there, mobile access is there. But how you do the transactions? So what we suggest is that you simply make a note of all those items, either in a notepad or otherwise simple. We have a simple executable, okay, that we deploy on 1 or 2 machines, okay, that works without internet, but it will create one file, and that file you just simply choose that file, okay, take that file. I'll have to see, I don't have the sample file. I just can take the sample file, upload it, then I can say normal issue. That's it. So those books are marked as issue. Simply you specify accession number and the title. That's all. Accession number and the member ID. Similarly, you do it for the return. Return for all those are possible here. 4 actions items you can do. Okay. So then you can also get a template here. Here's plenty of template for normal issues. Pretty simple. Yeah, though this is what is the format of the template. You just keep putting over here, okay? Just save it, okay? I'll save. Then you upload and use it. Okay. This is again a new one that we added recently. Okay, so next one, if required, I can show what is the time now. Let's finish the other thing, then if required, I'll come to this. It's notionally important, but practically I have not seen, I have seen rarely, but seeing used. But for a comfort level, it's required, okay? So now let's see circulation listing. What it means, basically, if I just say, give me the list of all, I clicked on all, so it's going to take time. So let me go back here. Okay, that's fine, so it came. So too much of data, let's go over here. Only the view only current circulations I'll take. Okay, so these are the books that are issued. 764 books are totally. These are all the current issues. There is a difference between current circulation, past one. Current is basically which is not yet written. Past is issued and written back also. And these are all the due. And now look at this. There are 2 new features here. So SMS to selected accession number, SMS to selected member. So I can just choose here, click on this accession, okay, and click on the accession. I want to send to this. I want to send to this. This is by the way, this is a periodical issue. Okay, I click on this, and then if I click SMS, the SMS will really go. Okay, so send SMS. It is already integrated with the SMS. So one of the advantages of going with Easylib, right? You don't have to invest or either time and energy on multiple things separately. Once you get Easylib, you want to have SMS sent to all the students as soon as the book issued. Very simple. You just when software is installed, we just go over here, and there is a simple parameter, circulation parameters, circulation system parameter. We just set up over here, send SMS on issue of book. If I set up as yes, books, SMS will start going. That's all. Nothing else you will need to do. Of course, you will get charged. Okay, that I can tell you. And now same thing with the email also. When a book is issued, you want an email to go, automatically the emails will go. Okay. So then pop up as soon as the book is issued. In some places, right, heavy circulation, something like 1,000 books are issued per day, or 2,000 in one desk. At that time, they don't want that pop-up message to come saying that book issued successfully, book issued successfully. They don't want that. They just, once it is issued, it will update in the screen. That's good enough. So you just say, okay, don't show the pop-up. But most of the people prefer this pop-up, so we put that. Prevent self-renew. Okay, number 13, right? Because in the OPAC, some people don't want the student to renew the book by themselves. So again, it's in your control. So what we have tried to do is, rather than hard code a lot of these different things, right? We try to give the power to you. So you can pretty much customize this SMS parameters, email parameters, how many days a student can borrow, what is the fine, whether there is a surcharge, and whether he can renew from home or not. All of these are parameterized just in the circulation alone. And there is a parameterization configuration available for everything. So if I go to OPAC, right? OPAC, all these things, what should show over here? You can set it up by yourself. You don't even have to call us. We'll show you how to do. You can pretty much change it every day, the entire thing, what is shown in the Explore, preset searches, announcements, your useful links, the featured books, the photo gallery, about your library, all of that's all under your control. Right? So this is the power of giving more power to you. Okay, and only thing, these are the things that is fixed. Okay, this is the opaque search and all that thing. Of course, for the opaque, by the way, we had one session about 2 weeks back. We will also conduct one more session maybe a week after, not the next week, not this week, next week, but the week after, just to cover the opaque alone. So keep looking at whenever you want to see the schedule of what's the opaque, what's the schedule of our webinars. Just go to easylib6.2a. The website should open. There, the list of all the webinars is listed. Okay, and you can also go and subscribe here. So you just put your email ID, you will be subscribed to our mailing list, right? So you will be subscribed, you keep getting mails. We probably send once or twice in a month, not too often, okay? So you get updates on the what's happening. So while we are on the screen, if you want to see what are the past webinars conducted, what you can do is just go over here, training, webinar, okay? All the webinars that we have conducted so far, along with that video link and the PPT, both are available. So far, we have conducted 8 of them. All the 8 are available here. And you all registered in the platform, right? That platform that you use for registering is called Vidyanidhi platform. Again, written by our partner company, our sister concern. Just click on this and then you see that link, right? There's the circulation model Easylib. This is all customizable. Okay. Suppose as a library, you want to keep conducting a lot of events. Very easy. You just request those people who get Easylib 6.2a definitely will get complimentary access to this website. Okay. We do encourage you to conduct a lot of events. So one of the things that differentiates between the libraries, between the most active libraries, the ones that are highly regarded, to the other ones which are still yet to be recognized well, right? The difference is number of events. You keep conducting events. Tell the students what you have got. Maybe arrange a book show. Maybe arrange one talk about a particular book, or have some students come and share experience of reading certain books, right? So you just need a reason to conduct the events. So of course, when you are doing it in the campus, well and good. And now you have Google Meet, you have Microsoft Teams, Zoom, so many options available. You can even conduct the online also. So this one, any of you are interested in this, getting started with this portion, right? Arranging the events, registration, just write to us, info@easylib6.com, or in the comments here, right? Your expectations from one of the webinars, just put saying that, please also tell me how to create an account in this platform. We'll help you. Okay. All right. So now going back over here, right? So we were in the circulation screen. So we did a lot of customization. So now circulation, we saw the circulation parameters, how to set up. We saw circulation listing, and this item status we already saw there, right? We had put that 000-300, and it showed all the copies of that particular book. Okay. So what are the loose issues? Who all issued? Periodical issues. So all of that you can see over here. By the way, one of the librarians also gave a recommendation. That what he said is that only the current issue don't allow to be issued. That's a great idea. It's already somewhere in the request, not yet scheduled, but that's going to come up. Okay. So these are the books that are issued. Okay, now this is one most important thing, most used one rather, member due list. It simply tells who all are the students who have got the books due, member ID, name, accession number, transaction date, all those things. Right? This is a complete picture you get. Okay, you want to pay the fine, you just click on it, it will go. And by the way, we do have the payment gateway. Okay, if you want to enable us the payment gateway, of course, there will be certain customization work required, but the amount can come directly to your account. And those who have registered, right, in the webinar, between that register and close button, there is a payment gateway. We just did not enable it. So when you are conducting event, you want to charge about, let's say, 10 rupees, 15 rupees for any small contribution, definitely you can do that. Easylib allows that. So again, here the pay past fine. The advantage of this screen is that it has a lot of features, department, profile, member type, course, branch, and all that. So I'll show you even bigger one is there. Maybe if you want to print selected. So let me say, I'll select these all 4, 5. I'll say print selected. Again, you get an Excel, it will open the Excel, as simple as that. Okay, so now reservation status. What are the books that are reserved so far? Nothing is reserved here. So now, let's log in as Mr. Sripad, right? Over here on the other window. Here I'm logged into Safari. This is a Mac machine. So I'll click on log out and log in as a student. Okay. So 000, 006, 000. Put a different, for example, we retain the same password for him. He can change his password, by the way. Okay. So now, when student logs in, he will see only his name and log out. When a staff logs in, he will see all these things, right? So here instead of Easylib, I am logged in as Easylib admin. My user ID itself is Easylib admin, so it's showing Easylib. Otherwise, it will show my name over here. Okay. So Sripad is logged in. He can search, reserve, and all that. So I'll show you only one portion. So he wants to this one elements of public health. So I'll see, check. Okay, one book is available. I want this book. I can just go and I can reserve that particular book. Okay, come on. So this is the book. Okay, all these details. By the way, if the ISBN is populated, it will populate the book image also. That's already integrated now. So so I'll just say reserve this book, reserve this title. Oh, sorry, what did I click? Okay. So now this is reserved for Mr. Sripad. So this is something that is the new, the share, tweet, and all that thing that probably many of you have not got it. So that's going to be deployed. Okay, it's available in the test right now. Now Sripad has logged in. He has reserved that book, right? Now here, his name, what are the books he has borrowed? He borrowed 4 books. Okay, 007 I think had a lot of books, right? So probably he had 5. He returned one of them, so that's only 4 now. He can request a lot of books. Okay, so that's an activation part. We'll cover that later, not today. He can keep a lot of books as favorites for his later reading. What are the fines, past due fines, and all that? My documents, all of your certificates are loaded over here, right? My documents. So my digital library, that's a new feature. So that will be a totally different session wherein we have the ability for each of the professor, staff, whoever you give the access, they can maintain their digital library. Feedback. Just going into the circulation, how many books he has borrowed since the library, his interaction with the library started. He can change his password. Reservation list. Okay, you saw that he reserved this book, right? So this is available, allocated on this date. If he doesn't borrow on 29th, right, it will go away. So those who attend the next webinar will see whether it will show up on, let's say, 31st or something like that. Automatically, it should have gone if I don't borrow that, or I can unreserve this also. Okay, these are the other library feedback, and that we'll skip that. So we'll skip log out from Mr. Sripad. Okay, so now, oh, wait a minute. I wanted to show those of you who are using this, you are downloading the certificate, right? From when you log in and then download it, you can, when you are using it, you can use it to upload the no due certificates or alert reminders you are sending by registered post to hidden address. You can also upload those things over there. Okay. Now let's go over here back to the reservation status. You are seeing all the books that are reserved by students. You can search by date range, or do you want everything, or just want to see only the allotted ones, expired ones, and all that, or member ID you can put. So reminders. Okay. So this one, again, it lists out all these things. If you want to send emails, you can do. You can just click on this thing. This is again real time linked. Just for our, because it's a testing data, we nullified all the emails. So because, you know, during the demo, you don't want to click the send all button. So you can just send the, click on this, emails will go. Okay. So the only one catch is that if the volume is very high, at that time, we do have to get a separate email server for you. Okay. So otherwise, what happens is that it will get termed as a spam, because usually from one user ID, as per the research by Google, right, it allows certain numbers, only 100 or something like that. If it exceeds that, it will block your ID as a spam ID. It will in fact just not even allow you to log in again. So that's the risk. So at that time, If your volume is high, you want a lot of reminders to go on a daily basis, then you let us know upfront. Okay, so that way we can put a separate server. Okay. Here, the email status. What all emails, what is the count of the emails that are sent? Nothing is sent today. If I want to see, okay, show me the emails that I've sent in last 1 month. Okay, how many emails? Total 12. One of them failed. Maybe the email ID was wrong, and sent is 11. You are able to clearly see the status. So similar report is available for SMS also. Okay, SMS sent report. Okay, so if I put one, let's see how many SMS we have sent. Okay, nothing we have sent. Maybe June 1st onwards. Yeah, so this 006 Sripad Kumar mobile number renew alert was sent. All this here, right? So by the way, this is not free because we also incur the costs on the SMS. So that's why we have made it no SMS automatically. But manually you can send it. So you can clearly see the counts. Okay, so we saw SMS and email. Now the important one is this customized report. One moment, I will take a break of 1 minute. 1 moment. Okay, so it would be good those who are not asking question, you can mute your phone or put the questions in the chat box. Okay, I'll probably will go till 3:15 on the quite a few items, right? Maybe at least 10 minutes. So all right, so now here customized report. So in the circulation listing, you are able to see the real-time data. Okay, but there we had about 7 or 8 fields. But now look at this. Here we have a lot more fields. Okay, so if you want to do additional analysis, you can do that. There it was no publisher was there. If you are interested in, okay, show me the books which are published by so and so organization, you can get that over here. Okay, which of the books that are issued by this so and so, which of the books that are belonging to one publisher which are in the most circulation. So that way you can make a comparison. Okay, whether the books published by publisher XYZ are more popular or ABC are more popular. So after all, you want to make sure that whatever investment you are putting in the library, right, is well utilized. A book which is purchased by paying thousands of rupees, if it remains on the shelf, it's of no use, right? So definitely it helps you do additional analysis of how many books. Okay, you can just go and check. Okay, we borrowed, we paid this publisher something like, we bought about 1 lakh worth of books published by this publisher. Let me see how many times it's borrowed. Now you can make a call, only 15 times. So let me think whether I should get more books from this or not. Or do I need to borrow, get the different books? All that thing you need to make. Okay. Now, the beauty is that you can also do additional conditions. If you want to see, okay, show me only the ones that are issued in a certain date range, you can do that as well. Let me take this publisher thing. I'll just put an issue date. Issue date I'll take. Okay, issue date. I'll remove this item type condition. I can put multiple conditions. In the older version 4.4, you could put only 6 or 7, 6 of them. Here now you can just keep going down as much as you want. Let me see, okay, how many books issued in the last 27 days. Just click on it. It will list out those books for you. Okay, so 2 books, surprisingly. Oh, the past transaction. What it means that the book issued and also returned. Okay, so second, now if I go to current, there should be a lot more books. Yeah, these are the books. So 7 books issued and issued in this period, including this 1,104 and all that thing. There is 100 that we. So whenever you see the question mark, right? So probably it's to do with the specific setting that we have to do in that particular thing. Okay, I took a screenshot. Okay, all right. So now, basically customized report, you see the data, and then what you do, if you want to show hide columns, you can see, okay, show me this, show me this, show me this, whatever you want to do. And when you want to print, right, you just say print, Excel, text, and HTML. Excel if you want, again, you can choose whatever fields you want, right? So title only 30 are there. It's not enough. I want to make it 120. Fine. Okay. So who it has been issued to, I can take this. I want to put the member ID, the first one I can do. I can put a circulation report I can put. Okay, show me by, sort it by member ID I can do, and say export. Okay, Excel, you saw that jumping thing, right? Just go over here, circulation report. Yeah, so 2 books. Okay, member ID, transaction number, item type, all that thing over here, right? So there was one newly added request was there, so that's the reason why this time is also showing, because some libraries wanted, or rather there was the time had to be captured, so that's why it was so far 0, but now the real time will come. Real time of exactly what is the issue time, return date, return time will be captured as well. Okay, so now this is the custom report. If you want, you can take a HTML text report as well, same format. Comma separated, no, just take it, that's it. Again, simple. Yeah, so these are the books, that's it. All right, same thing with the HTML. If you want to just publish onto your website, right? At that time, HTML makes a lot of sense. Okay, export. You got this HTML that you put it. Now save this HTML. Now this is the HTML, right? So you have to save pages and then save this and then link it wherever you want. Okay. So let me close this. So customize report. Now let's go to the customized statistics. This is a new one that's in the 6.2 and above. What it tells is that in the report we were getting all the data, but here we can just get only the counts. So if I want, let's say, publisher. Okay, so let's do one thing. I'll probably not give any condition. I'll see only the publishers. Let's see, it may be too much data. So let me put a date range, issue date I'll put. Okay, so let's say in last 1 year. In this date range, by publisher, just give me. So this is what it is, you know. So in the test data, whatever we have done, BPB, 1 book issued, Butterworth, 1, 3 books issued, and all that thing that you are able to see. So you can make a call on saying that which of the books, which of the publisher is most popular. Okay, S-Chand seems to be the most popular. By the way, if you see here, right, S-Chand is shown 5 times. All of them are S-Chand, right? The reason why they are showing is the data quality is not that great. When you are entering, so 5 staff, there's somebody entered S-Chand and Company Limited, somebody entered S-Chand and Company, somebody like this, somebody like this. So there is a feature in Easylib to merge all the publishers. When you merge all the publishers, it will merge all the books related to the publishers into one, S-Chand and Company. The vendor itself gets the publisher in the digital library, in the circulation, everywhere it gets modified. Okay, so now here is the publisher wise I did. If you want to say, okay, member wise, profile wise, give me how many books used by the students, by professors, all this thing, you know, you can see. That way, you can make a call on whether who is using the library the most. Okay, course branch. This is one very interesting one. A lot of libraries wanted actually. Okay, if I want to see, okay, why the students from, let's say, BSc, nobody is there, right? You can probably talk to the head of the department of the science department and tell that, okay, sir, why nobody is coming from your physics, maths, chemistry, none of these departments, you know, why? So you can do everything with this analysis to make sure that your library gets most used. By the way, there is already a trend that's coming up in, I do not see it has been very popular right now in this, I have not seen too many places in India. But in some places, some other countries, they're already defined what is the incentive for the library staff based on the usage of the library. If they set the parameter saying that, okay, this is the expectation. Per day, 100 students should be visiting the library. Circulation may be about, let's say, 500 per day. And if it goes more than 500, obviously the incentive gets added, the bonus gets added. And if it doesn't, if it keeps going below, it may be possible that if there are 5 staff, they may come and say, okay, library load seems to be low. We want to take this person and put in somewhere else. Okay. So for all those kind of, all different things happen, right? Might be what we suggest, as well as based on the discussion with multiple libraries, take the initiatives to increase the library usage. So this is one method. You can analyze and then increase the usage. By course branch you can do. By item type, you know, if you think that you have procured huge number of certain manuals, nobody is referring. Probably people don't even know about that manual, right? All that kind of you can analysis you do and then see why only the books are borrowed, nothing else, right? Maybe it's a test data, so we did not issue those. But in a real life scenario, definitely you want to see it, put a notice board saying that, okay, So library has got 50,000 books, 5,000 non-book material in terms of the CCs, and so many bound volumes, so many CDs, so many documentaries, and all that thing. So it definitely helps. By the way, if you want to showcase what is inside your library, right? We do have there is a kiosk module, and those who have attended, they have seen this already earlier. You can just put the notice saying that, okay, welcome to library. These are the books, these are the non-books, these are the library regulations, these are the locations. You can put a library map and all that. It will keep displaying over here. Okay, so all right. So not to move too much in that direction. Going back to the circulation. 310. So we covered the circulation statistics. The message is that it definitely helps you do the analysis. Okay. Now, real life analysis, right? If you want a lot of graphs, lot of conditions which are not even over here, that piece, right? It's a whole the segment by itself. That's called business intelligence, business analytics, right? For that, what we have done is we have tied up with the different companies wherein Easylib data can be referred by that particular software also. Those who are really interested in doing that kind of analysis, we can definitely help you and make sure that as soon as the entire transaction is done over here, if you want all different kinds of reports, that will be generated over there. Just let us know, okay? So this is the customized statistics. All right, so we'll take in the questions in the question answer session. So I'm sure you will have some questions on this. Here, some more report, just simple count I want. Okay, I don't want all the big details. Just to tell me how my library has been doing in this date range. Okay, in this date, how many issued, returned, renewed. Simple report. Okay, so in 1 week, what is the usage of the library, right? So we saw this already, these two reports. Due report, what are the books that are due, find report, how much is due. Simple, how books out of the library. You just want to know how many books are out of the library, right? So just need to file it for your record or whatever reason. Okay, we just take this report over. Member transactions, so that's another interesting thing. So that tells you this particular member, what all books he has been borrowing, when he has borrowed and all that. I do not see it's coming up, so let me see what is the issue. Member transactions did not come, right? Did it come? Okay, it's come. So all right. So it's a huge data. It basically tells Mr. Okay, so why? Okay, this date. So books borrowed, not returned, borrowed, returned, visit to the member library. All that you are able to see for all of your students. Okay, so maybe probably there could be more improvements also. We can give a lot of conditions and all that thing. So that definitely will take it as a request. Okay, so let's see while that comes up. Well, let me go back to the circulation. Books are circulated most, right? So basically in this period, give me the data of which books are used most, right? You can just let me reduce the time frame. Okay, this title, author. So this happens when we delete, when we are doing the testing, we issued a book and then deleted the book. What happens? So that kind of scenario. Okay, so of course there is a referential integrity you should not allow. That's already checked. So, so now this book is borrowed and issued 60 times. This is issued by 36 times and all that thing. So email sent report that we saw, who all the email has gone. SMS sent report, who all the SMS has gone in this date range. Okay, this email, member ID, name, send tab, send to, status and all that. So same thing with SMS. Fine calculation report. Okay, so this is another interesting thing. So now if I put this member, right, I'll put Mr. Sripad only. Basically what it tells is that how his fine kept on growing day by day. Okay, so now during the lockdown, right, if you want to reverse some of the fine, this screen will be most useful because you can take that last 20 days, how much fine is incremented when the library was closed. At that time, you can go and issue the credit for those days. Okay, so a lot of transactions, 807. Okay, so that is the fine calculation report. Member parameters we saw circulation parameters, reminder email setup. So this is again, you can set up the parameters related to the reminder. There is one thing that I'm going to show you. Probably it's not open. So that tells you how to format, what kind of formatting is available. Right now it's a fixed format. Okay. So now here it says that reminder email setup, what is the email ID from where the messages will go from, what is the default email, what is the default title, the receipt, who is getting the subject title. Here you can put, okay, the reminder from the library, something like that. And the last one is the fine calculation where some more additional features are available. So we skip that. Yeah, so this one, right? So this is the fine calculation report. The other one was in a special cases, if you want to modify the fine manually, you can do that. But note, everything is tracked. It's not that you can remove the fine, not like that. It will, once the fine is calculated, it will get entered there. Okay. All right. So these are the screens in the circulation and including the reports also we saw. There are a few more reports that's in the reports section. If you just are simply interested in the report, one of your staff, you don't want to give him the access to the real circulation, but you want him to be able to access the reports. So most of the reports, right, are available there as well as here. There may be some extra reports here. So, items not circulated. I can say, okay, in this date range, since the library opened, show me the books which are never borrowed. Okay, I can see that over here. Issue track basically tells, okay, I'll put this number. So this particular book, right, how many times it is, who all have borrowed it. This particular person may have borrowed this one, If you see that one particular book has got damaged, some 10 pages are missing. So you just want to know who all have borrowed and written in the last 1 or 2 years, right? So this is an easy thing over here. Okay, sorry. So reports. Item issue track in the date range. There is one more, that is reading analysis. So this one, a lot of improvements are going on right now, so it may not show the data, but basically we wanted to build that analytics feature. Okay, but anyway, now that we have tied up with the other organization, it gives a lot of powerful reports. So we'll see how to make it available on one single screen. So there is one more report, items issued profile wise, show me in this range. All this thing of profile count by course branch wise. Notice certificate. This is one thing that a lot of libraries want. See, this is there, so node you can't be issued. Simple as that. It will not issue. So let me put 083SC001. Let me see if the student has okay, member doesn't exist. So okay, so let me see. I have to find out somebody who doesn't have any books due. Maybe Sripal has borrowed a lot of books, right? Let's see some other one. So BM 2001 2010-03. Oh no. Okay, so all right. So basically you have to clear and then only the fine Nodeo certificate is generated. And once it is generated, it also makes an entry over there in the system. Okay. So now the new procedure that we recommend is that generate the Nodeo certificate, upload it into the member my documents, and then make the student as suspended. So that way, by mistake also, you don't issue another book after the Nodeo certificate is issued. So there are additional parameters that, or if you wanted to take the printout of what is that can be issued, so you are able to see this. Okay. I think we pretty much covered it. So fine statement we saw, issue track, Nodeo certificate we saw, circulation date-wise statistics, some more reports. So, but anyway, you got in the other section, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Okay. So this is by course branch. By this course, how many are issued, returned, renewed in this date range or since the beginning. So, okay. Just to close this, so going back to this PPT, right? What we have done is try to cover most of the key activities that you perform in the library, all of this. And if at all there is something that it is not covered, feel free to log a ticket by going to the support window over there, or send a mail to info@easylibsoft.com. We'll be happy to add this. Or of course, my number is there and my team member's number, or the support number 9844081710. You can call and tell your recommendation. Okay, and usually the recommendation that you give definitely get done if it is a small one within in a span of weeks. The longer ones may take more time. Okay, that's about it. Thank you so much for staying, and I'll take the questions. Thank you. Okay, let me go to the main screen where okay, Priya, can we have questions? We have 64 people. That's good.
So, yes, sir. There are some questions.
Yes, go ahead.
So, how can you please show us the RFID reader?
RFID reader. See that. Okay, so I'll just do a RFID. I think if you go to our website, right? We have that picture on our website. Okay, what is the next question? I'll show that.
Next question is, how can we transfer the circulation third party? Transfer of circulation third party.
From third party or to third party?
So it is transfer of circulation third party.
Basically, you can take the report.
Question is by Raghavendra
Adki?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So basically what you do is third party. So suppose you have got a lot of books already issued. Okay, you are using some other software and you want to come to Easylib. We are very happy that you are coming to Easylib. So in that case, you want to transfer the circulation, right? So two methods are there. Either you give the entire data as is, right? Just give the entire data, and we'll be able to, during the data conversion, we'll be able to import in Easylib software. Alternative method is simply use that offline circulation. Okay, you just put the member ID and the particular accession number and issue all of them. So software will issue. Only catch is that it will be issued as of today. Okay, but definitely all the data will come into Easylib. Yeah, go ahead. And third party, if you want to take the report into another third party, let's say you want to generate a lot of graphs, okay, which are not in Easylib, but you really want to come up with your own graph. You simply go to the custom reports in Easylib, right? Just simple custom reports, and take the report whatever you want, and then open it in Excel, build a pivot table, and do the graph. Yeah, next one.
So next question is it possible to fix the due date at the end of the academic year only for all the categories?
All the categories, yes, the answer is yes. So basically what you would do is circulation system parameters, it's not this, sorry, the member parameter. For every category, right, you just put the fixed due date. That's it. Keep putting the fixed due date for everybody. That's it. For all the categories. Okay. Only one issue is that if you want a mix of this. So now book bank, you have issued it for 31st October. Okay. Anything that you issued, let's say we'll make it 31st October 2020. But if you want to issue 5 book banks till 31st October, but beyond 5 you want to issue it for only 1 week, then it becomes a little issue. Okay, so yeah, there is a requirement from one of the colleges. What they want is, I want to issue about 10 books. The student has a choice. I want to keep this book till the end of the year, or I want to keep it for only certain days. And they're all mixed. So that's a little challenge. In that case, what we recommend is that rather than doing whether can we change that category to book bank, automatically it will get issued for that until that particular date, and the rest of them follow the regular cycle of 8 days or 10 days. Yeah, Priya, next.
So next question is, RFID tags and barcode labels, if
Okay.
both are there in the books, means how it will work, whether through barcode labels or through RFID tags.
Yeah, that's a very good, interesting question actually. So RFID tag is a invisible tag actually. So invisible, I mean, once you peel this RFID tag, so this is a barcode, okay, printed again from Easylib, okay. Easylib software does help you print the barcodes, okay. So now let's say this is an RFID tag, right? Some tag is there. What you do is you just go and put it in somewhere in this one of these sheets, right? So the student doesn't even know that there is a tag there. Okay. Now, for at least knowing what accession register is there, you want to put a barcode also, because that is the one that is easily visible, right? RFID tag is not visible. So what you want to do is you want to go and put it over here. So that way this is available. So now when the book is being issued, if you are already using RFID system, you just go and keep the book over there in the RFID reader. It will go and issue that book. Now, if the RFID reader is not available, you can still scan this barcode, but you still have to do the scanning. So in other words, RFID doesn't require where you need to know what is the RFID number, where is it located, nothing like that. Once it is fixed, you just keep the book, that's it, and then take it. Okay. All right. Next one, Priya.
So next question is how to get the report of the most circulated books.
Yeah. So I think that covered. So there is on the screen, you are able to see this most circulated books, right? Sorry, 1 minute. Okay. So where is this one is? It's in the circulation menu. Just keep going. You will see one most circulated. Just click on that. You put a date range and it will tell you which are the books most circulated. Okay, in the date range.
Yes, sir.
Again, what you can do is you can take a print, Excel, something like that. Now this is Excel. Okay, next one, Priya.
So next question is report of the maximum number of books borrowed by a particular user in a particular year.
Okay, borrowed by, yeah, I think that one we had member transactions, no? Let's see here. Books borrowed. So let's do one thing. We will just put this, why this is, I think it's for everything that has put, huh? So let's see. So this one is from Safari, automatically doesn't, but in Chrome you will get that date range. So now I'll say list. So yeah, what is the question, Priya? Can you read it again?
So like reports of the maximum number of books borrowed by a particular user in a particular year.
Okay, fine. So now I put a particular year range, date range I put, and these are the people who have borrowed all these books. So if I want to know who has borrowed the most, you simply go here, books borrowed and returned. Maybe we can add a total here. Not returned. So Mr. Santosh, yes, 0002 has borrowed 58 books in this season, in this dam range. Okay, maybe 34 plus 1, so 35 transactions actually he did. And this is a visit to the library, how many times he came to the library also. So that's another thing added. Yeah, through this, if you want to consider an award like, who is the most active user of the library, who has borrowed the most books, right? You just, in this date range, if you can see, S001, he borrowed 1 book, not yet written. 34 books, he has borrowed as well as written. So totally, that means he has borrowed 35 books in this time frame. And probably, 35. But this gentleman has borrowed 58 of them in this year itself and returned everything. So probably this Santosh, S00 should get the award. Okay, and he came 60 times. So if you want to see, okay, how many times the students have come, probably Mr. Rambabu scored the highest, I think. Oh, there is one more, Sripad Kumar. Okay, our favorite Sripad. Oh, there is one more, James. Yeah. So just to sort it, it will give you, and then based on that, you maybe if you want to come up with an award, right? It's very simple again. So you just choose this award, 00010, you want to give him the award. Just there is a facility, you just go to, and this is again a new feature. So you come up with an award and configure that. For our testing purpose, we put it into the ID card, the certificate, right? So certificate, You want to put it as? These all people are getting the award, whatever this training certificate, right? This one. So Mr. James Bond, all right. So we have all famous people here in our database. So you get that certificate, right? So this again, this complete certificate can be designed in Easylib. Okay. Once you design, you upload it. Everybody, you just put the member ID. It will generate that certificate. There is one change, that ability to change this font. So that's going to come up in future. But you can generate the certificate in Easylib itself. And you just download this and download it and then load it into the students' My Documents section so they can download and keep it. Okay, next one, Priya.
So next question is, can the late fines be calculated automatically considering holidays also?
Yes, definitely. So now the only catch here is that you need to set the holidays before the fine calculation runs. Okay, that's important. And the fine calculation runs the moment you open circulation the first day. Okay, that day. So today, and if you have set up already the holiday calendar, that's well and good. So now let's say today is 27th, right? Let's till 31st it's a holiday. You set it up for 5 days. And suppose on 1st August, which you thought was a working day, happens to be a holiday, what you want to do is, before the 1st starts, then only you want to set the August 1st as the holiday. But in case, let's say another 5 days, the college doesn't open. So you come on August 6th. So now until 31st, it's okay because your holiday calendar is already set. But from August 1st till August 1st, as far as Easylib is concerned, it's a working day. If you open the circulation without setting the holiday, it will calculate for all 5 days. So what you would need to do is, before opening circulation, you would need to go to the system parameters, change the holiday calendar, set August 1st, 2, 3, 4 were holidays, and then open it on the 6th. Software will calculate only for the duration, which was a working day. But now, in case you open the software of the circulation without realizing, the fine is already calculated for 5 days. So now the only option is to waive it. So we have made the life easier in the Easylib 6.2 to find out at least how much fine got calculated in that period. So that way you know how much fine that can be waived off. But once the fine is calculated and then posted, right, because this being a financial matter, definitely we will not be able to nullify all the fines. Because if you try to do something, it will pretty much clean up all the fines. So what we have done is, if you want to modify the fine, go ahead, modify, but a track will be made saying that, okay, the fine was 45 rupees, 25 rupees was reduced, now is the new fine is 20 rupees. Yeah. So among all the different options, that seemed to be the best option. So, so that's what we have provided. Yes, Priya?
So next question is, once we issue the no due certificate, can we delete that member ID?
Very good question, actually. Okay. So now let's ask a question. Why you want to delete a member ID? Two reasons why you want to delete the member ID is that when you go and check, you don't want to keep seeing the old students. Fair reason. Okay. Second reason why you want to delete the user ID is to save the space. Now, the second reason, to save the space, that is probably not much applicable now, because this the laptop that we are using today are really powerful. All of us, what we are using are really powerful machines. Even if you load 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 50,000 students, it's not going to make a much difference. Okay, so space is not a valid reason to delete that old data. But the other reason, right, you don't want to keep seeing those members. So that is a good reason why you want to delete these members. But the problem is that the moment you delete the student, right, all the circulation history also goes out. So because that becomes an orphan. So in the circulation data, it says that, okay, this book was borrowed 20 times in 2009, 10, 2010. But who is it issued? If the member data itself is deleted, right, you can't tell where it was issued. And it may become like, it can look like a wrong data. So what we advise is that Once the member is there, and if the transactions are there, don't try to delete the member data. You can definitely make that membership expired, or you can make the person as suspended. So that way, by mistake also, you will not issue the book. And if there are absolutely no transactions for that particular member ID, software allows deleting also. You can go ahead and, by mistake, you created a member ID and you put the ID itself is supposed to be something. You came up with a totally different one, and then you realize that the same person has 3 more IDs. Okay, for whatever reason. And all the books are issued on one particular one. Other 2 are not used at all. And if there are no transactions, you are sure, then you can delete it. You can simply go here and delete this member ID. Okay, yeah, go ahead, Priya, next one. Of course, if you have additional follow-up questions, right, please keep posting. What we want to do is cover all the first round of questions, then we take the verbal questions next. Okay, definitely keep posting the questions. And it's good that you are asking a lot of questions. They're very happy. Yeah, go ahead, Priya. Thank you.
If more than one user reserve for the same book, how can we issue the book?
What happens is that we can try it and test it out also. So this maintains a queue. So I go and I am a member, student ID 1, S1 reserved one particular book. After 10 minutes, S2 reserved a book. After then S3 reserved a book. The book is now reserved for S1 for 2 days or 3 days, whatever you have set up. And if S2 tries to borrow, it says that wait, we can't issue you. S1 is already reserved. Wait for 2 days until he says that okay, I don't need it. Or the librarian make a call to S1 and saying that boss, this book is already issued for reserved for you. It's already nearly 2 days. Okay, you should have either you come and pick it up now before 12 o'clock, or I'm going to cancel your reservation. Okay, if the S1's reservation is cancelled, S2 can borrow. But otherwise, software does not allow S2 to borrow the book because it's already reserved for S1. Okay, hope that clarifies. Next one, Priya.
So fine is waive off sometime. Please explain.
Yeah, so let's go again to the fine waive off, right? So very simple. So just go to the circulation. Okay, so our this particular book, right? Okay, so now there are no fine. This is the overnight thing. So there is no fine. Our Sripad had a lot of fine, right? So let's go to Sripad ID. So okay, let me delete this 6. Now Mr. Sripad has got a fine of 18 rupees on this. Okay, so now I'll go click on this. I will say the return. I'll say return. Then you say, okay, I want to pay fine. I will pay fine. Sorry, waive off. No, okay, waive off is fine. So what you do is, if you want to waive off fine, you can just go here, return it. All the fine is waived off. That's it. Okay, so fine is waived off. You put 18 rupees over there, 18 rupees fine waived off, and goodwill, something like that. Whatever you put it, fine, all got. Okay. Now on the other hand, if you want to waive off partial fine, it should be pretty fast. Okay, fine, it's come now. Okay, that one book is gone, right? Now return and fine is waived off. Now there is a 2 rupees fine on this book. So now if I want to waive off only 1 rupee, I can say return here. Keep fine pending means the book is issued. The book is taken back, but the fine 2 rupees will remain on him. So that way, whenever you are trying to issue next book, it will say, okay, this much is the due. Do you want to pay? Okay. So now I'll say, okay, pay fine now. 2 rupees fine is there, and the transaction I'll put whatever it is, and 1 rupee waived, 1 rupee paid. And if I want to keep something as pending, I can do that. Then you just say okay, and book gets let me think. Okay, return. So yeah, so 1 book, 1 rupee we waived off, 1 rupee we received. So now if I go to here, circulation, fine collection report, right? My user ID is Easylib admin. Okay, so anyway, so I only have logged in. So I have fine waived 1 rupee, collected 1 rupee. You see this? Just now we did that, right? Yeah. So total fine was 59. Fine received today is 33. Fine waived is 26, and all of it is cash. And I think probably we left it blank here. That's why it's showing null. So, okay. Next, Priya.
Sir, circulation report is not showing the daily report issue returns. Please arise the question.
Daily issue return. Huh?
Circulation report not showing the daily report issue return.
Okay, 1 minute. Who raised that question? Because I can ask more details. So probably it was in the older.
Question is raised by Anjanaya Naik.
Okay.
Hello? Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Hello?
Okay.
Hello?
So, yes, go ahead. We can hear you.
Sir, hello?
Yes, go ahead. I can hear you.
Sir, I'm Easylib speaking, sir.
Easylib, namaskara, ಹೇಳಿ.
Sir, Excel report export, it is very difficult to export the Excel report.
Correct. Adu Excel. Okay, that's a good question. So basically, what is happening is that Excel, right? The server needs to have all those components. This I am running it from our demo server. It will come. And in your case, right? Definitely, some components need to be deployed on the server, which are missing. That is the reason why this is not coming. But definitely, if it happens to be on this, right? You can take this report. I think what we have done is for you, we have created one separate instance for you to take the report. Santosh can guide on that.
Okay, fine. Thank you, sir.
Sure, Etiraj. Thank you. And just for everybody's information, thank you, Etiraj and his team. He is at MS Ramaya Medical College, one of our long-time customers. Thank you. And Anjanaya is our client at Vidyodaya Law College, Tumkur. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, sure. So, Anjanaya, the question I did not understand. Can you read once again, Priya?
So, circulation report not showing the daily report issue returns.
Circulation report. Okay, let me note it down. I'm not able to make out which screen this error is happening. So I'm going to pause this question. So I'm just opening a production issue. So I just put it as Anjanaya Naik. So even though it's opened here, we'll see.
Sir, I think sir, excuse me, Vishala
yes,
here.
madam. Yeah, go ahead, madam.
Yes, sir. I think he wanted to know the daily statistics, sir. Everyday issue return statistics he would like to know, I feel.
Simple, no?
That is the question, what I understood.
Probably. Let's see.
Yeah, sir. Everyday statistics.
Got it. So count. So this one, somewhere there was a report, right? How many issue returns? Daily transaction report. Item issued profile wise, book wise, course wise, notice delivered, book circulation date wise. This course wise it says.
Date wise you can take now, sir. Date wise report.
Yeah, I'm just checking actually.
Same days, yeah.
Customer search report, due report, fine report. So this one item not sorted item. I should track on date range. So this is the accession register. It says issue this one. Simple report. The other one, let me check. In the report, you can take. Yeah, here it can take it. So if you want to see it, just go to the So this one circulation. Just go to the statistics. What happened? Circulation statistics. Oh, yeah, here it is, right? Circulation statistics date-wise. Yeah, you can take
Date-wise.
Correct. You can take it. Thank you, madam.
On the same day.
Yeah, thank you. So basically, this is a date issued, returned, and renewed. What is that? So anyway, I have kept the issue. So Priya, I'll ask. Anyway, it's a production support. One of our team member will also talk to Anjaneya to see whether he meant this one or any other issue.
Next question is,
Yes, go ahead, Priya.
member visit to the library, how to get the data?
Sure. So member visit to the library. So basically, there is a module in Easylib. That's a visitor management module in Note management. Okay, so what you would do is, so this is the, you just keep the screen open all the time. Okay, so whenever the students come, they just scan their ID card. Okay, so now Mr. Sripad, Homi Baba is inside. Okay, Sripad is inside. So now the Kalam comes, he is inside now. Okay, now these two people are in the library. I'll go here. If I want to know how many people are in the library, you can just go to in-out management. Two people are in the library right now reading, and both of them happen to be reference. When checking in, they can change it to whatever purpose they came for. Okay. Then this one tells daily how many people have come, gone. So this is the count. If you want additional report, it can give in this date range. Okay, give me the list of all the people who came in the library in this date range. Okay, I want a chart by month wise. Okay. Oh, this all happened to be 1 month, right? Let me change it. So last 7 months, I'll put it. Yeah. So most of your students have come in January. This is our anyway test data. So yeah. So that's the visitor reports. Okay, Priya, next.
Next question is, can library find summary report as a whole be generated separately?
Library find
Summary report as a whole can be generated separately.
Oh, okay. That's, I think, let me check. So I know we have individual. If you want to buy fine as a whole, right? So let's see 1 moment. It may not be there, but that's a good question. So let's see. Here you have one report on the fine collection report you have, but it gives individually. Okay, but if you want a summary report, right? Let's see here.
Sir, complete academic year date we can put, no, sir.
Correct. But I think they want just to simply count, no, how much fine collected in the year.
We can take it, the report in the Excel sheet, and we can count.
Yeah, correct. That is the best way now. So now you.
Yeah, that is the best way. Just we need to download the report and.
Correct.
Find
so now, basically, if I take this, yeah. So this is the report. If you want to generate, let's say by department, if you want, you go here. You have to insert a pivot table here. Okay, so. Oh, sorry. What did I do?
Just we have to do the sum of the total amount collected.
Correct. Either you can do that, yeah, total, just simply sum it up, it will come. So that's the simpler one. So, or otherwise, if you want by department, right? So, a simple by department. Okay, then you go here, mode of payment, issue date, return date, receipt number, fine on date, fine received. Some here. So yeah, this is those who are familiar with the pivot table find it easy. Okay, now this is an interesting thing. It's showing 00 here, right? Even though there is a value. So now this is an issue that we are seeing in the Excel actually. When Excel tries to think that this is a text field instead of the number. So So if you just double click on this one, it becomes like this. So now what we simply recommend the people is that just add 3 more columns. That's one of the, if there is a better method, I will be happy. Okay, you just go here, +0 you make, that's all. So all of that became number. Okay, so now this is a find on date, right? Just I'll have to do it 2 more times. So this one and this one. Find received. Okay, again here, this +0. Okay, so this one again, do it here. Find viewed. So then what you have to do is you just select all this, edit, copy, then paste special values. So then you have duplicate values. So you delete this column, delete this left aligned column, because the value is same. It's just that left aligned here, right aligned there. So delete. So now Excel now thinks that these are all the number fields. So now I will go back here. Yes, one moment. Okay, so now this is the find. So 13,300 collected, chemistry this much, math is this much, and blank is this much. Okay. Yeah, so you got the fine, right, for the department, for the total fine collected in a date range. Okay, Priya, we'll cover the question, then we take the verbal questions from other people.
Sir, that's it, sir.
Okay. So, madam, you had any further questions or comments, or other people? Madam, I mean Dr. Vishala, madam.
No, sir. Well presentation and a well given good explanation.
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, though Dr. Vishala madam is a long-time customer based out of Mangalore, Saint Agnes College. Thank you, madam, for making it interactive.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Sure. Okay, so we have 53 people. So let's see. So, okay, it's already now 3:50. So almost somebody had please raise the question. Okay. Thank you. Very nice session. Anjane says, thank you, sir. Srikanth says, thank you. Anjane, excellent session. Thank you. Thank you. Good to have all of you on this session. Very nice. So happy that many of you are participating regularly, as well as there are quite a few new faces. Please keep attending. The next webinar is on Wednesday, and the topic for the webinar is only membership module. So that's an interesting thing, because membership module is basically the student